Okay, legends, welcome back to the channel with another Overlord, Lord of Nazarick video. Now, we have the banner, we have another character that we talk about, and this, I have maybe a hot take on him. It's Gazef, and Gazef, other than the anime, in the anime, we all love him. He's a really, really great guy. He's loyal, he's chivalrous, he's so respectful, he's a great character. In this game, they didn't give him justice. They didn't give him the what I thought about that he will be an absolute monster, because we've seen him how he fight and he stands his ground even when he's hurt, and he deals a lot of damage actually. After he gets hurt, he gets in range in the anime, but here he does not. So we're gonna go and talk about it. And his summon banner is with Shaltir. Now, why I'm happy that he's with Valkyrie Shaltir on the banner. Both of them needs a lot of copies to be really good characters. Now, Valkyrie Shaltir, one copy will help you a lot. She's great from one copy, but you need her to be maxed up to be better than the other tanks in the game. While for Gazef, at least you need to get him to 5-star, not to 5-star, you need to get him to 6 stars, so he will be shining and he will deal maximum damage. Yet he could be countered. Yet, yes, he's not a great character in this game, specifically with all the metas that we went through. So with AoE meta, he's not good against them. With the single target counter team, he's good in counter teams, but he counters specific target, which makes him a less viable or usable character on the lineup. We go and talk about him. So counter, single target, multi-hit. We're gonna talk about his multi-hit with his ultimate only. So this is Gazef. We always love him. He has martial art shenanigan in the anime. Here, I think in the description you're gonna find it. First of all, we're gonna talk about his stats. Absolutely normal stats that you can see them on SR characters. There's nothing at S that make him shine more, but nothing C, so will make him the worst. His speed is awful, and magical defense, it means AoE spells or AoE damage will absolutely destroy him or absolutely deal a lot of damage to him. Attack decent, defense decent, HP decent, because he gives his own self shields when he gets max resolve, and we're gonna talk about that. So his passive, endless resolve, build up resolve. This is the passive. You work around resolve. So gains 2 stacks of resolve each time Gazef counters an attack. Counters an attack, we're gonna talk about his counter. Now, what does it do? A combat spirit, when accumulated, enhances Gazef power. So we're gonna talk about his power here. It doesn't say how much it gives him. Each stack of resolve increases attack by 2% and crit or counter rate by 3%, stacking up to 6 times. Now 6 times, it means 2 by 6, that's 12, 3 by 6, that's 18. 18 on counter rate, which is great for him to counter more and more, and 12% on attack. That's a decent upgrade. We're gonna talk about it later, because when leveling it up, it gets you more. So at 6 stacks of resolve, enter the max resolve state. We're gonna talk about that also. It's really slow to build up, but you can get it there. You need 6 stacks of resolve. Yeah, you start with 2. If you didn't counter, you're not gonna get resolve, so you need to counter to get them, so you can get to the maximum state. 4 stars, his first improvement. Additionally, each stack of resolve increase counter damage by 10%. So if you have resolve at 6 stacks, that's 60% damage that you will do with counter, which is great. At 6 stars, while in max resolve state, for every 2 successful counters Gazef performs, the cooldown of his 6 Fold Slash of Light is reduced by 1 round, which is his ultimate. That is cooldown for 3 rounds. So every time he will, for every 2 counters, so every time he counters twice in the battle, which is the same target, I think, or if he in general counter, if you put him on a team that buffs every counter rate, and he will go and counter, he will decrease for 2 times every 2 times he does the counter, the ultimate, which is good because you will hit a lot with your ultimate, and it depends on the dual target that you go against. So level 2. While in the max resolve, Gazef gains a shield equal to 8% of his max HP each time he counters up an attack up to maximum of 24% of his max HP. So it stacks up to 24 of his max HP. He gets shield, he self-sustain on his own, he gets protection for his own, which is good actually for unit. This one is one of his best skills, which is keep him more alive. That's the only thing that I will talk super positively about him. You're gonna see in the rest of the video why I mean that. Each stack of resolve increases the attack by 3%, then it goes up to 4% and increases the counter rate by 6%, and it goes up by 6 times. So 6 by 6 and here 4 by 6, which is really good. Actually, if you get him to level 4, he will be actually doing some noticeable damage. While in the max resolve state, Gazef gains a shield equal to 12% of his max HP up to 36% of his max HP. Now, these are all his passives, okay? Let's talk about his first skill. First skill is really straightforward. Deals damage equal to 100% of attack, and it goes up to 120% of attack. At level 4, gains attack boost that lasts for 1 round. So 1 round. Every time he hit, the next round he's gonna do it, and every round he will get the boost for 1 round. A buff that increases 30% of his attack. So give him 30 attack boost up to his attack. So the more that you build him on attack, the more the attack boost will be helpful, and the more that you build him on counter rate, he will get more resolve, so he get hit or get the max resolve status. Now, they didn't say it's undispellable, so you can dispel his resolve shenanigans. If you're gonna go and read here resolve, it does not say it's not dispellable. That's the biggest problem of him. You can counter him immediately with somebody that strips you from buffs, somebody that takes your buffs. Even Pandora's actor can remove his buffs and put him on himself or give it to somebody else. There's a lot of units that remove buffs. This is why he's really low on the list, and you can see him on my tier list that I put him very low there. So his second skill, Duel of Justice, which is really good. Challenges an enemy to a duel, deal damage equal to 100% of attack if he hit with this attack. It's a skill single target. Gains 100% fixed chance to inflict duel. He will do it no matter what, and it's not, you can't dispel this. So an undispellable debuff that allows Gazef to counter the target after their turn. If the target doesn't damage Gazef during the turn, the counter damage is increased by 50%. So the cool thing about it that you can counter this, and counter works. You cannot go and remove the duel from, so if somebody has a duel on them and you want to counter them, you cannot go and use a support character like Yuri or like PDL to go and take the hit instead of you. You can give them shields, but you cannot tank the counter hit. The counters will always counter the specific target, which is good, but I'm gonna talk about the problems here about this one, the duel, and how hard it goes, because you need to build max resolve, and as I said, it can be dispelled. You can counter him with shields, you can counter him with damage reductions, attack reductions. There's a lot of things to counter specific builds that goes around building max resolve, because you need 6 stacks of it to get the max resolve. So whenever the target inflicted with duel ends an action, Gazef immediately perform a counter against the target. If the target does not deal damage to Gazef this turn, the counter performed by Gazef will deal extra 50% damage, as we said here, and it goes up and up. Gazef takes 15% less damage from the target that he's attacked with duel. So if he puts a duel on a target, they will deal less damage to him, which is understandable. Actually, it's a duel, you want to gain advantage because this is your skill. And then he deals 100% of attack instead of 100 at level 4. At level 5, the cooldown will be reduced for 1. It means for 1 round it will be on cooldown, which is great. As you see, the normal attack, it has no cooldown. This one has 2 rounds. So his ultimate is a single target, semi-single target. You can say semi-single target AoE because he can hit everybody because it's a multi-hit. So deals damage equal to 130% of the attack to the primary target, to the target that he clicks on. Launches a 5-hit attack at random enemies, each hit dealing damage equal to 30% of attack. So extra 5 attacks by 30% for each hit on the entire team, which is good. That's an AoE. The primary target at 5 stars gains duel that lasts for 2 rounds. So you can inflict duel with your second skill, and it's a fixed chance. And at 5 stars, the primary target gains duel immediately. It's not fixed chance or whatever. You will gain duel whatever you want. It's similar to fixed chance for 2 rounds. It means you can hit 2 units with duel with the ultimate and with your second skill. So at level 2, immediately gains 1 stack of resolve. That's on level 2 when you hit with it. In the max resolve state, Gazef attack increased by 20% when using 6-fold Slash of Light. it will increase by 20%. This is perfect. Deals, and at level 3, level 4, let's talk about level 4, it's higher multipliers. Deal damage equal to 156% of attack to the primary target, and then launches a 5-hit attack, 36% attack to everybody, which is great, and reduces the cooldown. It will be 2 on level 5. So hard investment for a character, mediocre with his stats, that could be countered easily. You can remove every resolve from him and he will never reach the max state, or you can play around him. When he reached the max state, you can just remove the max resolve state, because when it says he hits max resolve, right, in every single thing, and whenever it says max resolve, it never says that you cannot dispel that from him. So you can immediately wait for him to get max resolve, and I don't highly recommend that. I recommend whenever you see resolve on him, just go and remove it from him, and that's it. He will be useless against you. That's the downside of Gazef. I wish he was built better, because I like the character. He's one of the characters that I like from the anime, actually. So his Arclight, let's talk about it. So general effect, increased damage of the next skill deals after the basic attack. So if you deal a basic attack, like if you do a counter, let's say you have it on brain, you do a counter, he does normal attack, and then the next attack that he will do, which is the active, or the next skill that he will press, it will deal extra 12% damage, which is huge. Now, EX effect, after using ultimate, gains a shield that can absorb 20% of damage. After each ultimate use, permanently increase ultimate damage by 10%, stacks up to 3 times. It means his ultimate goes permanently to 30%. At max level, it goes to 20%. So 3 times you can increase his ultimate up to 60%, which will make him huge. Now, if you see players that using Gazef in front of you, or you're facing people with Gazef and you're seeing like, oh my god, he's a beast, he's destroying us. They have his Arclight maxed and they have him maxed, something like that, and they're absolutely destroying you, and you'll think like, oh, Gazef is worth it, he's the best character in the game. Well, if you 6-star any character and give them the 6-star of Arclight, you'll be on the same level. You'll not feel, because you're gonna get higher multipliers, higher attack, defense, blah 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 blah. So rating him, decent character, good character, actually, very very counterable character, and his counter does not go AoE on everybody like SR Brain does a counter on everybody. He doesn't go and counter everybody, he specifically counters units that he inflict duel on, and he increases his counter rate. He has a decent counter rate. If you're gonna go and check his counter rate, I think it's here somewhere in the details, he will be having counter rate here at 0%. So he increases by his passive and by everything that he has, he increases his counter rate a little bit. Yeah, decent unit, good unit, not the best SSR in the game. If you want damage dealers, there is a lot of better damage dealers in the game. I wouldn't highly recommend building him. If you got him, that's good for you. You can do your testing and try him. You will see a lot of people telling you, my best unit, I build him up max, I'm owning with him. And the moment that they fight somebody like normal Shaltir, the mage Shaltir there, she absolutely destroys them, because she's garnet and they're green, they are emerald. And yeah, that's how it goes. That's a reality check for users for Gazef. And that's my take on it. Let me know about it, about your ideas in the comments. Kill me in the comments about Gazef, Gazef lovers, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.